Hello everyone, it's Graham from Lakeside, and this is just a previous video which you've seen, may have seen, of the area which I've been tackling with the burnt out car. Just kind of refresh your memory, that's all, what it was like before. So let's go and see what it's like now. Okay, so this is now, it's Sunday, so this is how far I've got at the moment. It's kind of mid-afternoon-ish, and I'm packing up now. I've got other things to do, so I thought I'd just do a quick video of how I'm at the moment. It's basically there, to be honest with you. I've got to let a lot of this dry now because there's still some wet glue and wet paint, and the next bits I need to do, I need to have it dry. So start with the minor details really. I've gone through and added television aerials to the chimneys. Most people had televisions by this kind of era. I've got little seagulls sitting on that aerial along with his two mates. I've added a motorbike. I've had him for ages and I thought I must put him on, and I remembered today to do it. He's quite a good bike actually. So he's there, and I've managed to now, where are they? I've got people sitting in the little tables outside the courtyard and by the pub, so they're now done. I've now continued the road all the way round along the back of the terrace houses, around and along the side there, so that's now all complete. I've started weathering and changing the colouring of the road. That's the bit I've got to do now. I've got to wait for that to dry to carry on, and I've started changing the colour. You can probably just see two little dark squares, one there for road repairs. That's the first coat. I need to put another coat on that. So it's just little things like that. I've done the track up to here, weathered that, put some static grass in with the buffer at the end and some undergrowth around it, and up to the main area which I was concentrating on, which is now basically done. So it's typical scrubland. I managed to find a police car. It's not an electric blue flashing type, but I will either get one of those or make that into a blue flashing light on the top. I've changed a few things. I've changed, zoom in a little bit, let it going blurred. I changed the guy at the back who had his arms up and looked like Popeye. I didn't like him when I put him in. So he's off and a replacement was put in, and that looks much better I think. Done a little bit more work on the car, but not much, not that you'd notice. And I've added another copper there coming up from the Panda car here, towards his mate. Dead tree with branches fallen. I've got a guy I've got a guy there with his top off shoveling builder's rubble and stuff. I don't know if you can make out, but I've made a small pathway there, which is where the car was driven over the grass, and it's made its path. So if we come back to about there, that kind of gives you an overview of what it's like. So I'm happy with that now. There will be other items put on there. I've got a bed, a mattress, a sofa, an old sofa, excuse me, to go on there. I don't want to make it too much of a rubbish dump, just a little bit of fly tipping, not much. I don't want to overdo it, but just generally scruffy bit of ground at the back. So that's that now. I think that's about it, to be honest. There's not much. I think I have been doing some other details on this, but I can't remember, to be honest. But it's getting there. So if we draw back, step back without treading on anything. That's the overall picture now. So you can see now that the village is virtually complete. I keep saying that, I know. Oh dear, got some dust up my throat. It's primarily now just weathering the road down, putting drains in by the curbs. It's just little things like that, plus these two gardens. I've got those to do. But that's the main part done, where I'm having to reach, and of course this area here in front of me. Take the zoom back off. But that's going to be very, very last thing to do, primarily because I don't want to keep touching this edge, which will wear away. Yeah, so that's it. So I've got my Class 24 there with the GoPro attached. So I should be running it around one way along there, and then the other way, just to give you an idea of how that's looking from trackside. So that's about it. I'm pleased with the outcome, I must say. I'm happy with this. It's come out okay. The other end of the layout, where the city is going to be completely different to this. This is all very green and twee and calm and peaceful and nice. The other the other is going to be totally different. That's going to be a run-down city area. So it's nice to have a complete contrast, and it's going to be good for me because I'll be getting away from this sort of green lushness of the village, which I love, don't get me wrong, I love it. But I want to create a complete contrast on the other end of the layout. So that's it. I will make a couple of comments though from the comments I had on the previous video. I couldn't believe it how many people commented about the tyres on the car. I mean, I'm standing in the middle. Let's wind this in a bit. Now that, let's bring it in a bit. Right, if you was to stand in the middle where I'm standing, which is one of two places where you can stand, that's the vision or the view you would see. That's how close you would be. Not that close. And there was a few comments, some done in jest, I know, and I took it as that. But there was a couple of serious comments about tyres was the main thing. They wouldn't be on the car if it was burnt out. And two bizarre ones of, let me zoom in, the car has a fabric roof at the top here. I should have taken that roof out to make it more realistic, because that would have been burnt out straight away. Well, I didn't, for a couple of reasons. One, I'm not going to cut that out to leave a really thick edge to where the metal is. It's about 2-3 millimeters thick, that roof, and if I cut that out, that would have looked totally wrong. And another reason is I couldn't be bothered. It's as simple as that. I really couldn't. The work effort involved to cut that out, just because in real life that would have burnt out. Nah, sorry, I've got better things to do in my life. All I wanted was to do a little diorama of a car which was obviously in a poor state. You know, it needn't have been burnt out, need it? It could be just a grey paint, gone rusty. But in my mind's eye, when I did this, it was a burnt out area with scorches. I'm leaning right over now to get close. With scorches around it. So the tyre thing, now before I do most of my stuff, I do research on primarily Google images to get, not to copy, but just to get a feel, an idea of what things look like when I'm doing stuff like, if for example, weathering of the brickwork or the roofs, I look at photographs and kind of gauge what's happening in real life. And I did exactly that with the car. So, to prove my point, this is my, to zoom out a bit. I googled some photographs and I put them in a photo album so that I can refer to them when I'm doing the car. So for this particular purpose, I've just chosen the cars which had the tyres left on, because there were plenty there with no tyres, obviously, but there were 50% had tyres. So let's go through, and this is purely a selfish thing to prove a point. Tyres on, tyres on. You can see the heat generator, that's not a little fire. All the tyres on and inflated. Same there, they're not flat. That one there, that's a pretty bad one. Inflated, front one's flat. So I think I've kind of proved a point there that yes, tyres would normally, you would think, burn out completely, but not in every case. So in my little full pop up here, I've got, if I can zoom straight, I mean I can't even see it, the back axle's gone anyway and it's just the wheels there, but the front tyre, oh there we go. Oh, come on, focus. The front tyre you can't see because it's buried in the ash, but it is flat. It's a little tiny detail to go on a layout. You know, I really shouldn't be criticised, to be honest with you, about whether tyres should be on or off, flat, roof burnt out. It's really, really not important. The important thing is you get a kind of an overview and a feeling of what's going on there, and that's it. It really is as simple as that. Right, so I will put my GoPro on, and so it's not going to be a huge thing, it's just going to be going around that way and then back at a different angle. So hopefully you've enjoyed that, and I will get on now. Next job, finish these gardens, and then it'll be a case of going over here and doing this area, which is going to be interesting. Right, okay people, I will see you or speak to you next week, hopefully. So bye for now, hope you've had a great weekend, and speak to you soon. Bye for now. Bye.